Good evening, and welcome to the latest happenings inside our federal machine.
It's Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. It's Faith On with tonight's episode of The Swamp. President Trump gives the State of the Union address before Congress tonight. At least 73 Democrats are playing hooky, who represent over 58 million constituents, by the way, who will not have any representation tonight. The remaining Democrats who will be there are expected to bring illegal immigrants as their guests. Will ICE be out front? I don't know. We'll have to see. In other news today, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna hints that an Oversight Committee in Congress will be holding a hearing on MK Ultra, the infamous CIA program that occurred during the mid-20th century. Also, Rep. Nancy Mace introduced House Resolution Bill 1072 that will require the House Ethics Committee to publicly release all information they have on sexual harassment claims against members of Congress. And Under Secretary of State for Economic Affairs testified before a House committee explaining that the country who maintains AI dominance will reign supreme across the 21st century. And there's some more that happened today, not a whole lot, so we're just gonna dive straight in. And if you enjoyed the video, please give the video a quick like when you get a second, and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy the daily updates, click the bell, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And if you leave a comment below, I will probably read it on tomorrow's episode, if you so choose to drop one. And every article you'll see in this video will be linked below in the description. So as of right now, it is currently, let me just double check the time. Let's see. So as of right now, it's 8:34 p.m. Eastern time, my time. So there you have it, 8:34 p.m. So the State of the Union doesn't start until 9 o'clock. So I've got some other stuff to get to in the meantime. So, of course, we got State of the Union, State of the Union, State of the Union. From Eric Daugherty, this was about 3 hours ago. So breaking, the number of Democrats boycotting President Trump's State of the Union address has surged to 72, but we've had an update. It's now 73 officially. I don't have it. Apparently there was some last minute Democrat who decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to go. I'm going to boycott it. I'm going to go to one of these, fancy pants leftist parties that they're hosting. One of them's in the International Mall, and another one's in some like stupid journalism center or whatever the hell. So they're doing whatever it is that rubbing or patting each other on the back, probably giving each other little trophies, virtue signaling to each other. Yeah, F Trump, we're not going to be there, without really even realizing or even giving a shit that they represent over 58 million people, who some of whom might realize, wow, why is my member of Congress not here? Aren't they all supposed to be here? What the hell's going on here? So anyway, let's give this a look. So let's see, Adam Schiff, of course, he's not going to be there, but I'm sure they'll go through maybe a couple other names. You see them on the screen here.
And that's exactly what President Trump.
Eric Swallowswell, Dan Goldman, Ron Wyden. I mean, just like absolutely typical. I mean, this is of no surprise. Chris Murphy, not shocked at all. Ed Markey, not shocked at all. Jeff Merkley, all these names, yeah, no surprise whatsoever. Obviously, they're not going to be missed, but they're getting paid to be here at the State of the Union, by the way. They do get a salary. What is it, $174,000 a year? So technically, they're being paid by their constituents, by their taxpayers, to show up to this event, and they're just going to play hooky instead.
Because this is the message
that's what Democrats do.
Are going to take out.
They don't
to the
give a shit.
The notes in which he echoes tonight will be exactly what you hear Republicans say on the stump. And you keep in mind, this is a president that's going to be out there. It's almost as if he was running for election. They're going to have him on the campaign trail. I'm expecting the president to deliver in a way in which the American people expect him to, presidentially, and tell them what's in it for them. What has he done over the course of a year? And I can tell you, he's accomplished a great deal cleaning up the mess of Joe Biden's presidency, but there's much more to be done.
Yeah, he has cleaned up a lot. He has done a lot, accomplished a lot in the last year. I don't even have to go through the list because he's going to go through it here in just a little bit. And these Democrats that are holding out, this isn't the first time they've done that. There were a bunch that didn't show up to the last State of the Union. No shocker, or at least the last one that President Trump held. And if you remember Nancy Pelosi tearing up the president's speech when he was giving the State of the Union that one time, it's just a bunch of ridiculous games that they're playing. And I don't know. I just can't help but think that the American people, by and large, have had enough of this crap. So let's go on to the next post. And I'm just going to go through the list. I think I grabbed like maybe 20 different posts in total to go through. And if the State of the Union starts before I get to the bottom of the list, we'll just jump over to the State of the Union. So I'm gonna do C-SPAN. By the way, here, let me. Where's the mute? There's the mute button, and I'm going to go with the C-SPAN one because it seems like that they're going to be leaning left. I'm assuming C-SPAN. They probably lean left for the majority of the time anyway. But the title reads President Trump 2026 State of the Union Address and Democratic Response. So I figured maybe they might jump over to some Democrat nonsense. Maybe we can get a look at that, which of course they're talking about that right now because the State of the Union hasn't started yet. So I'm sure that they're probably just showing all the Democratic whatever. Actually, live right now they're not. They're showing inside the House right now. So it looks like they're getting things underway. Again, it is right now 8:38, if I'm not mistaken. Let me refresh. 8:38. Yeah, 8:38. So I'll go through some of these in the meantime. And once President Trump shows up, then I'll move over and start covering the State of the Union. From Raw's Alerts, breaking, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security says that some Democrats in Congress are planning to bring undocumented migrants as guests to President Trump's State of the Union address tonight to protest his actions and ICE. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if they are indeed going to bring any illegal immigrants. I just can't help but think, look, realistically, will ICE be out there waiting? So as soon as they leave the house, they're just going to immediately apprehend them. Look, dude, anything's possible. They might do it. Of course, there's going to be a shitload of cameras that are going to be televising it. And obviously, the mainstream news is going to spin it in the most horrible way imaginable. Oh my God, these poor innocent people. And of course, the elected officials who brought them along, they're going to be holding their hand the entire time. And they're going to make this some ultra mega outrage, try as hard as they possibly can to make it backfire against ICE agents. So realistically, I don't think that they're going to actually do that just for publicity reasons, because there's absolutely no way that they're in any way going to try to justify that from the perspective of the mainstream media, even though they are 100% justified if illegal immigrants are going into the people's house, which is, talk about a slap in the face to the American people. But that's what Democrats are doing. They're just routinely slapping you across the face every single day. And they're laughing as they do it, maniacally. So this is from Senator Katie Boyd Britt. Daily reminder that Democrats blocked funding for Homeland Security, including the Coast Guard, the Secret Service, TSA, and I'll add another one, FEMA. They've also defunded FEMA in the meantime. Not to mention cybersecurity agencies are also being defunded. So who knows what's going on in the tech universe, where we've got North Korea constantly bombarding us with tech, trying to overload us with malware and DDoS attacks on the regular. The same with Ukraine and Russia, and probably, I don't even know, Iran. I'm sure that they're routinely trying to attack our infrastructure from the internet. So anyway, she finishes up with ICE and CBP are still funded and will continue to deport criminal illegal aliens. And from Caroline Levitt, President Donald Trump's guests for his State of the Union address tonight will include Sage Blair, a young woman who was separated from her parents at age 14 after school officials attempted to secretly transition her to a male. So that is going to be interesting to see. And she actually links this article from the Daily Caller. Trump invites girl taken from parents after secret gender transition. That's the shit that they're doing in California. I guarantee this is from California. And they even passed a law that if the parents are refusing to transition their child, even though their child had told school officials that they want to transition, look, I could be wrong in this, but I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere that by law that officials, maybe not exactly school officials, but essentially the Department of Children and Families, whatever they're called in California, can actually remove that child from their parents and get them a sex change surgery regardless, even against the parents' wishes. Do I have that right? I'm pretty sure I've got that right, or at least fairly close to that. I'm pretty sure that that's actually in the law in California now. So maybe that's what happened in this circumstance, maybe, and that's what it sounds like. So anyway, President Trump's guests for a State of the Union address will include Sage Blair, a young woman who was separated from her parents at 14 after school officials attempted to secretly transition her to a male. The Daily Callers exclusively learned Blair, who is now reunited with her parents and attending Liberty University, will be joined by her mom, Michelle, a White House official shared with the Caller. The president plans on telling Blair's story Tuesday during his State of the Union address, where he will also call on states to ban sex transitioning operations for minors. Okay, not to get into a bunch of spoilers, which I guess that is a bit of a spoiler, but look, I'm not recording this live. I'm not streaming right now. I plan on streaming in the future in this channel. I'm thinking about maybe starting to look into that if I ever get to 1,000 subscriptions or 1,000 subscribers. Maybe Maybe I'll start transitioning to doing it live. I'm still a bit rusty, though. I don't know if I'm quite ready for live streaming yet, even though tonight would have been a perfect night to give it a try, but I'm just not set up for it just yet. But anyway, not to give myself spoilers, I suppose. And we'll head on to the next from Chairman Joe Gruters. President Trump is the best messenger the Republican Party has ever had, and he has accomplished more for the American people in his first year back in office than most presidents accomplished in 8. I mean, quite possibly, to be honest. I mean, last year was a hell of a busy year for President Trump. Dude's got to average like 3 hours of sleep a night. So let's give this a quick watch. It's only 19 seconds. He's the best
showman we've ever had. He's the best deliverer of the messaging.
Yeah, he's definitely the best showman. That's for sure.
He has accomplished so much in this first year, more than most presidents accomplished in 8 years. So we're very excited about tonight. I hope everybody tunes in, and because there's going to be a lot of special guests, and I think he's going to deliver a message that's really going to resonate with the American people.
I think so too. He's charismatic. He's edgy. He pushes the envelope. He definitely thinks outside the box. He explores what his authority is as president. It seems like just all these past presidents, they must just not even look and see like what kind of power they have that they could use to the Americans' advantage. I don't think any president in my lifetime has pushed that as far as President Trump has. And let's go on to Marka Wayne Mullen. Americans should not be going down to Mexico right now. It's not safe. So we're going to shift gears just a little bit and check out Mexico for a second.
Mexico, when she just recently came out and
Mexico's
said that they
crazy
can't use
right
lethal
now.
Force against the cartels.
Cartels are popping off.
Law. What law? They're slaughtering people in their streets, and the president of Mexico is saying we're not going to fight against them. We're not going to use lethal force against them. It's absurd, and it's affecting our streets. It's affecting our borders. Where every time you take out a cartel leader, it creates a vacuum, and what we've seen is these cartels have been splitting. So when we used to have 4 cartels operating, now we have 8 cartels, and actually we have more than that, but we have 8
Bus on fire.
cartels.
And you notice they have them blocking the roads. They were setting cars on fire all over the city. Like there's another one way back there by the water. Maybe there's another one off this way. And it was all over the city. They were blocking roads all over the city. The cartels did this because some drug kingpin cartel boss was killed by Mexican forces, and that's what caused this retaliation. If you watch The Swamp from last night, I go over it in detail. I show a bunch of different video clips. I even showed the president's response, which is absolutely appalling. She basically, in a roundabout way, said that they're just going to basically stand down and just essentially let the cartels do whatever the hell they want, apparently.
And now that President Trump has put such a strain on them, we've taken away their ability to have billions of dollars through human trafficking. We're really hitting them hard on drug trafficking. Now there's not as much money to share, so now these cartels are fighting each other for territory, and they're trying to
I think drug imports are down like 40%, something like that over last year.
It's a great opportunity for us and Mexico to take them all out. Now, are we going to eliminate all the drug trafficking in the world? Absolutely not. But can we get a handle on it again? Absolutely, and this is an opportunity to do it. But anybody that's planning on going to Mexico for spring break, I mean, my chiropractor called me yesterday and said he's still planning on going to Cancun. I said, are you crazy? Right. No one should be going down there right now. It is very volatile, and the United States is laser focused on watching what's taking place.
Senator, thank you.
Yeah, you might want to rethink your plans if you plan on going to Mexico over the next week or two. Maybe a month from now, it might be a little settled down by then. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Apparently, there were a ton of liberals that have moved down to Mexico in the last couple of years, and they at least I read a post somewhere where somebody was covering some instances of these liberals that were practically begging the government to send in help to get them out of Mexico. I don't even know. I'm not sure what's going on with all that, but I read that somewhere that they're all freaking out. But yeah, I think it would be a great idea to just double down on the pressure, especially if the president of Mexico would actually do something instead of saying, well, we're not gonna essentially go to war with them. What, are you just going to let them run roughshod over Mexico like they have been doing for decades? You might as well get them when they're being threatened right now, at least by the U.S. with regard to the drug trade and us sealing up the border. Not to say that they're probably hurting for money. There's no way they're hurting for money. They're probably like the most cash-rich organization on the planet, aside from maybe the U.S. Treasury. God knows how many billions of dollars of cash that these cartels have at their disposal. So maybe that's why the Mexican authorities don't want to push back too heavily against them. Maybe just because the cartels, I mean, hell, I would probably argue that the cartels are probably more well-funded than the Mexican military probably is, with the amount of money that they've been collecting over the last, 50 years, 60 years? Of course, I'm sure they spend a lot of money. There's just so much. It's insane. Like, watch the movie American Made. Watch the movie Blow. There's a bunch. Scarface, for crying out loud. There's a whole bunch of these drug movies you can watch, and it's absolutely crazy the amount of money that they take in. Or even watch the documentary Cocaine Cowboys from 2006. One of the greatest documentaries I've ever seen. Some of those stories that they told during that documentary was absolutely crazy, man. Definitely recommend adding it to your list if you haven't seen it yet. You might even be able to find it here on YouTube for free. I know some of the older documentaries they put up on YouTube for free. So it might be on here somewhere. Cocaine Cowboys 2006. All right, so Dylan Johnson, Inside Wire, was forced to delete this fake statement, quote, from the State Department, but only after it received over 130,000 views and was reposted all over X. 130,000 views, it is a lot, especially on YouTube, but in the grand scheme of things with X, it's actually not that much. I mean, it got 3,300 likes. Most, maybe at least half the posts that I show for the Swamp get substantially more views than that. Even though 130,000 is still a pretty heavy number, not close to being considered going viral. But anyway, from Inside Wire, it said, breaking, State Department says U.S. citizens may have been kidnapped in Puerto Vallarta. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah, so that's what they're saying. I don't think anybody was, strictly speaking, kidnapped, but there are Americans down there. From what I've heard, they lean liberal because they freaked out when Trump got reelected. So they decided to try to stage some exodus, and only a few of them ended up moving to Mexico City and what have you. And now they're just like completely going ballistic, just worried that their lives are in danger. You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. From Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, I think our next task force hearing will be on MK Ultra. And from the Daily Mail, which she reposted, declassified CIA files revealed chilling blueprint to manipulate Americans' minds through covert drugging with vaccines. And they do have the article here. I'm not going to go through the article because I already have the documents that I've already got on the post following this one after Anna Paulina Luna. So let's have a look at this from MJ Truth Ultra. Dear conspiracy theorists, you were right again. The CIA just republished declassified files related to Project Artichoke, a secret government program designed to manipulate Americans' minds through covert drugging with vaccines. Project Artichoke, 1951 and 1956, was a secret early Cold War program focused on mind control, behavior modification, and advanced interrogation techniques. Key revelations from the documents include CIA plans to create and deploy chemicals and drugs that could be slipped covertly into everyday items. I'm going to get to that in the document. Researchers explored two main categories of long-term compounds: agitating effects, causing anxiety, nervousness, and tension, and depressing effects, inducing despondency, hopelessness, and lethargy. So let's see. The program also examined hypnosis, psychological techniques, aerosols, and whatnot. And let me see where. Oh, here it is. So this link, just have a look at. It's from CIA.gov. So this is going directly to CIA.gov. So like this isn't on some like third-party site or some conspiracy site or anything. This is directly from the CIA. And let me see, find out where this page is. Okay, well, it's going to be on page 2. So they go over chemicals. Let's see, cases, aerosols, as well as sound, diet, and dietary deficiencies. That's the word. And also they go through electroshock and electronarcotics, electro sleep-inducing machines, and lobotomy and brain surgery, light, and let's see, the effect of color, possible effects of color, psychological problems, electronics in general. So they go through a bunch of this stuff, and this is all declassified from the CIA. From what I understand, it was recently declassified. This is from way back in 1952. So the part of this document in question is right here under chemicals, including drugs. And it reads, it is believed that specific research could be undertaken to develop new chemicals or drugs or to improve known elements for use in the artichoke work. A study should be made to determine what drugs are best suited for direct use on subjects along the lines of amidol and pentothal, and which drugs are best for indirect or long-range approach to subjects. This long type of drug should be one that could be administered over a considerable period of time, possibly being placed in food or water, and would either have an aggravating effect, I think, producing anxiety, nervousness, tension, etc., or a depressing effect, creating a feeling of despondency, hopelessness, lethargy. And the study should include chemicals or drugs that can effectively be concealed in common items such as food, water, Coca-Cola, beer, liquor, cigarettes, etc. This type of drug should also be capable of use in standard medical treatments such as vaccines and shots and etc. Wow. Holy shit. So while there are literally hundreds of chemicals or drugs that affect the mental processes of an individual, many of these chemicals or drugs could be eliminated by individuals having special knowledge in the chemical drug field. It is known that the Army Chemical Warfare Service has made exhaustive studies along these lines, and perhaps they could furnish us with many specific answers. Men like redacted could undoubtedly give pertinent information if they could be properly approached. And then it goes in talking about gases and aerosols and so on and so forth, talking about like how the human body works under a lack of oxygen, pertaining to possible brain injuries and things like that. So it's a 7-page document. I'll have this link below if you want to read it in its entirety. It's really fascinating. So apparently, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna wants to dig into this further. This isn't with MK Ultra, but this was the program that preceded MK Ultra. This happened just before MK Ultra. I think it was like 8 or 10 years before MK Ultra got off the ground, because it didn't happen in like the early 1960s or maybe late 1950s. But I do know that Project Artichoke was the first between Artichoke and MK Ultra. So it looks like they're going to possibly be having an oversight hearing talking about this exact issue. So that should be quite interesting indeed. Okay, so it is currently, what time do I got? 8:54. So let me go through one more. Here, let's just do another quick check and see what we got. All right, yeah, it looks like there's still, people are arriving. There's Vice President J.D. Vance. All right, so here, let's take a listen. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, that is. He's retiring this year.
And in leadership, so
strong D.
Maybe I'll just leave it here and just let this happen.
Of the Trump administration.
The Democrats.
Yeah, if they're just going to be meeting and greeting, I'll go through a couple more posts.
Members that aren't there.
Somebody giving you a picture.
Okay, yeah, it just looks like they're just doing meets and greets and selfies and all that. So I'll check back in a few minutes. From Rep. Nancy Mace, last night I filed a resolution to publicly release all of the sexual harassment violations of members of Congress. And this is going to get crazy. So, by the way, this is in reference to Rep. Tony Gonzalez. If you watched my episode from last night, I went over all the text messages that were released. He was sexually harassing one of his aides, one of his assistants that was working with them. And not so long after that whole affair occurred between he and her, she ended up Control-Alt-Deleting herself. And that's a big scandal that's happening right now. And of course, as this post says, Rep. Tony Gonzalez from Texas, a Republican, by the way, tells Manu Rahu he will not resign and refuses to say whether the explicit texts are real. So we'll get to that in just a minute. First, I want to hear from Rep. Nancy Mace, because she's going to be dropping this bill, and it sounds like a banger, man. I think it's a good idea.
Good morning, everyone. Just watching this whole Tony Gonzalez thing play out, Corey Mills thing play out, the Ilhan Omar thing play out, the Stacey Plaskett thing play out, all the things. The reason that no one is ever held accountable here in Congress for their transgressions is because both sides protect the other. They want power over the people, and so nothing happens. You can sexually harass your employees on the Hill, and there is literally no accountability, no responsibility, no transparency. This stuff goes on all the time, and in fact, I filed a resolution last night that would expose sexual harassment by members of Congress here on the Hill. The only question is, do I file it as a privileged motion to expose all of it and all of them? Sometimes that's the only way things get done.
A privileged motion. Interesting. I was about to say at the end of this video, if they protect each other and there's no accountability between the two parties, do you really think they would ever pass this bill? Because the bill that she's looking to pass, let me see what it's, let's see. It's called a House Resolution Bill 1072 that she's going to introduce, which again, it would require the House Ethics Committee to publicly release all information they have on not just sexual harassment, but on other matters. Any complaints that were filed to the House Ethics Committee on a member of Congress would have to be released to the public. That's what she's trying to put forward. So if she's going to use whatever it was she said, something execute with privilege or something like that, whatever she said at the end, maybe that's the only way to get it done. I assume that would allow her to personally dig through those files and perhaps go public with it. I think that is a fantastic idea. I think that if that bill were put on the floor for a vote, it sounds like she's not going to get anywhere near enough votes for it. It's certainly not from people who have files that are within that House committee. So anyway, we'll just have to see what happens there. So Brian Allen breaking Tony Gonzalez. I already read that. He said he's not going to resign. Quote, not all the facts, no direct answer, no denial. Now he's heading to talk to Mike Johnson when someone won't deny the evidence. That is the evidence. That is what protection looks like. Let's have a look at this, and then we'll check back at the State of the Union.
Are those text messages correct? Are they accurate?
I am not going to resign. I work every day. I work every day for the people of Texas.
But are those text messages? Are they accurate? Are those real text messages?
I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to resign. I work every day for the people of Texas.
Did you carry it?
And
were those your text messages?
Opportunity
Yes, they were.
For all the details and facts to come out. What you've seen is not all the facts.
Did you have an extramarital affair with the staff?
What you've seen is not all the facts, and there'll be an ample time for all of that to come out.
What are the facts? Can you address it right now? Your constituents want to know.
My constituents are not here in D.C. My constituents are back home in Texas.
Dude, camera. Dude, what a dick thing to say, man. My constituents aren't here. They're back at home. They're back in Texas. So I'm not going to be able to address it here. Dude, no, because you want to prepare an extremely carefully crafted statement to try to dance around everything that you're being accused of. And what makes matters worse is that the woman who he had this alleged affair with, she's no longer with us. And she did what we're not supposed to be talking about on YouTube to herself, happened, and now he's in hot water. And of course, his opponent had dropped the text messages, or at least somebody who works for his opponent. You know, all that I'm sure is alleged. I'm not 100% for sure on that because he's up for his primary here in a couple of weeks. I believe the primary is on the 3rd. It's going to be on the 3rd of March. So we shall see what will come of that. So yeah, it looks like people are just still funneling in. And anyway, we'll get back to that in just a minute. Let me double check the time. Do they even have the time? It'd be nice today. Oh yeah, here it is, 8:54 p.m. No, see, that's not the time that I have. This is like 6 minutes behind, and oh wait, hold on here. I'm still a little behind. Here we go. All right, here we go. Rock and roll. Let me get the sound up.
Secretary Noem. That's Susie
what they're talking about.
Daughter of
Secretary Noem is here
a long-time
with the Department of Homeland Security. There's Lee Zeldin with the EPA.
There's Lee Zeldin.
I did spot Secretary
EPA.
Yeah, I beat you.
I did see Doug Burgum as well.
I know where he's from.
There.
Is this
I think I know most of the cabinet members by now. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Thank you. I wasn't sure which one it was.
There's Tulsi Gabbard with the DNI.
Administration.
Oh, very much so.
Especially during the Doge cuts earlier this year. And then DNI.
Is it the Department of National Intelligence Division?
Kind
Department.
of homecoming for her, too. Former House member.
Democrat from
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
There's the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett.
So noting we haven't seen Brooke Rollins yet, the Agriculture Secretary.
And
oh yeah, Brooke Rollins.
Greta told us earlier
that she's not there yet.
The Ag Secretary is the most frequent designated
Secretary Kennedy.
Oh, there she is, though.
Health and Human Services.
And
Rollins
Secretary
is there.
Lutnick, and then
Lutnick is there. Commerce.
Behind Rollins.
Oh yeah, I saw Scott Turner. He was Housing and Urban Development. He was right behind Secretary Kennedy.
Sean Duffy, sorry.
There's Jamison Greer.
Turner in front of him of HUD.
And he's with Commerce, I think, right? Or no, that's Howard Lutnick.
I was banking on her being. I don't know why, but that's who I guessed.
Well, my guess before was Chris Wright of Energy. I don't think we've seen him yet.
That's a good one. We haven't
could
seen
be the
him.
winner
Chris
of
Wright. Just look for white hair.
Oh, wait, is that?
Yeah, there he is. He's right there.
That's him right there.
That's Chris Wright right there.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a designated
Department of Energy, so he's up in front.
Because Kelly Loeffler of
There's Howard Lutnick.
Business, she was,
in the Epstein files, he lived right next door to Jeffrey Epstein in New York City, if you didn't know that.
John Ossoff.
Oh, but of course he never talked to him. No, of course not. He was only neighbors with them, like door to door. Well, actually, to be fair, I think they were like across the street from each other.
From Texas.
And Steve Witkoff, the president's Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
I know who that is. His name escapes me right now.
Going going to have peace talks with our nuclear talk on Thursday.
It's so interesting. John Ratcliffe used to be on all the cable news channels on a frequent basis.
Here's Scott Turner over here on the far right.
CIA director.
With housing.
I haven't seen him since. When he was a member of Congress, he was always on TV. Oh, there's RFK taking pictures.
All right. So let me go through just a couple more. It just looks like there's going to be a little bit more of a meet and greet, despite that it's 9:02 right now. So he should be here any minute. So I'll probably just go one post and jump back and forth. From Right Angle News Network, breaking, President Trump is now calling on Netflix to immediately fire former Obama official Susan Rice after she openly stated Democrats will weaponize the government to go after anyone who supported the president. I don't think half the country supported that, Netflix. And of course, President Trump's Truth Social says Netflix should fire racist Trump deranged Susan Rice immediately or pay the consequences. I don't even know what she does for Netflix. What, does she have like her own show or something? Probably. She's got no talent or skills, purely a political hack. Her power is gone and will never be back. Hey, you get that? You got that shit rhyming. How much is she being paid and for what? Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And this was broken by Laura Loomer. And let's have a look at this.
These corporations think that the Democrats, when they come back in power, are going to, play by the old rules.
Well, I mean, I think all of us could answer that question right away. If Democrats retake the House, the Senate, and if they get back into the Oval Office in 2028, or well, technically 2029, then yeah, they're going to undo just about everything that President Trump did almost immediately because they're so deranged and psychopathic. And hopefully the American people will just absolutely go apeshit over it because there's a lot of good things that President Trump's doing. And we really don't want to go back to the Biden administration. I think probably most people who vote Democrat would not want that. Not just the whole illegal immigrant thing, but what comes with them. The increased cost of food, because when you throw 20, 30 million more people into the country, the food goes up because there's simply more people here buying it. And they get, of course, taxpayer-funded food stamps to buy all that food. So, our tax dollars are being wasted. And our utilities go up because they use electricity too. They use running water too. Our rent obviously skyrockets too because they all got to live somewhere, and it goes on and on. So that's just like one element of a number of things that the Democrats would try to roll back on. Who knows what they would do with regard to Iran and with regard to the Israel and Palestine situation with the Board of Peace. Would they dissolve the Board of Peace? Probably. There's just a lot of just nightmare stuff that I'm assuming that they would probably do like the day they get back in.
And say, oh, never mind, we'll forgive you for all the people you fired, all the policies and principles you've violated, all, the laws you've skirted.
The people they fired, they're downsizing the government.
I think, whether you're a law firm, whether you're a university, whether you're a media entity, whether you're a big corporation, whether you're big tech, you need to play a long game, not this short game that has been so detrimental. There will be an accountability agenda. Companies already are starting to hear they better preserve their documents. They better be ready for subpoenas. If they've done something wrong, they'll be held accountable. And if they haven't broken the law, good for them. If they've done the right things, good for them. That also will be noted and remembered. But this is not going to be an instance of forgive and forget. Right. The damage that these people are doing is too severe to the American people and to our national interest.
And notice what I say about Democrats over and over and over and over again. They give no examples. She doesn't give us any instances at all. What are you talking about, lady? What are you talking about? What specifically? Give us something. They lack all substance, and they paint everything with the most broad, vague brush possible. And she's got nothing, because if she had something, she would have said something. Big tech. What about big tech? What exactly did big tech do? What is one thing big tech did that pisses you off with regard to President Trump? They never have anything to say with regard to that. And it's so freaking frustrating. And just political posturing, spoken like a true totalitarian communist, because that's basically the behavior that they would have. If they get back into power, oh my God, anybody who's sided with Trump, there's going to be hell to pay. We're going to be arresting mass people, throwing them into camps, and God knows what else they're going to do. Make them all wear freaking patches to identify themselves. All right, so let's see where we're at. Let's see if we got any more movement happening. So it is still live. Looks like everybody's there. Is Barron Trump. So Barron's there.
Right, we think Burgum, Brooke Rollins, Doug Collins.
Chris Wright is here.
Have you seen Doug Collins?
He was a designated
First Lady. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just roll from here. Because Melania Trump's already here, the First Lady. Oh, here we go. I was a little bit behind. Perfect timing. Rock and roll. President Trump has entered the room. Then the chamber. Of course, Leader John Thune, Senator John Thune behind him, the Republican leader in the Senate. A lot of people don't like him right now because he's not aggressively pursuing the SAVE Act, which is extremely important right now. Hopefully Trump touches on that. Hopefully he calls him out by name, too. And Tom Emmer is back there. Not the short white hair guy, the other guy, the taller one with the white hair. He's from Minnesota. He's the House GOP leader. Or is he the majority whip? Maybe he's the majority whip. But no, I actually think he might be the leader. Well, Steve Scalise is right behind him. Maybe Steve Scalise is the House leader. Not the Speaker of the House. I'm talking like the party leader in the House. Yeah, I think Tom Emmer might be the whip. What a retard. Says black people aren't apes. Shall I play that video again? The whole Lion King video, that was hilarious. It depicted many people. Even President Trump was in that video, actually. Of course, he was the lion. They had Hakeem Jeffries as a meerkat in that video in question. He wasn't an ape in that video. But of course, the Democrats didn't watch the video. They just got him instantly triggered. The popular majority, all 7 swing states, the Gulf of America. Sounds like a lot of Democrats are cheering too. Of course they're not, but there's a few back there. Kind of clapping. I don't know if those are Democrats or not. So annoying how politicized all this nonsense, hyper polarized our country is right now. In years past, everybody would clap. Now we gotta play stupid games for God knows how long. The Awesome Beat just started this. Are you sick of winning yet, Democrats? Shall we do some more winning? All 7 swing states. That gets them triggered. The triggering. I did not do that. That was C-SPAN. Yep, we're still live. We are live. 9:10 p.m., 9:11 p.m.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
All right, clap for about 10 more minutes. USA.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States.
Stand up, Barron. Let's see how tall you are now. Good grief. Dude's like 7 feet tall now.
Second Lady of the United States.
Usha Vance. Which they are expecting now. Was that their third child, I think? Be the first time in American history that a second lady gave birth to a baby while her husband's in office.
Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back. Bigger, better, richer, and stronger.
He's looking right at the Democrats.
Than ever before.
Our nation is back. Seethe if you want.
Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
Golden age.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages.
Looks like Al Green finally put away his stupid ape sign. Oh, is he gonna walk out now? Are you leaving? Good, leave. Bye. Take your stupid pimp cane and fuck off. Black people are not apes. Uh-oh.
And we will never go back
you see
to
that?
where we were just a
dude
very
was
short
ripping his
time
sign.
ago. We're not going back. Today our border is secure.
Bye.
Thank you. Today our border is secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
Yep, 0 encounters were allowed through. Not a single one. Pete Hegseth, Scott Bessent, the Treasury,
In the past
Pam
9
Bondi.
months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
0. For Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem.
But we will always allow people to come in legally.
Legally.
People that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year.
I thought it was 40%, even higher than that.
And last year, the murder rate
Democrats don't even like that. They want the
decline
fentanyl, don't they?
in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years. Year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
Well, to be fair, I think the inflation rate in the 70s was higher. I could be wrong, but I think it was like 15, 18% or something, which was higher than the whole COVID bullshit.
Which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor. It was quite honestly a disaster. Is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited
in Colorado,
the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
Yeah, here in Florida, it topped out at like $5.70 a gallon under Biden. Unreal. Never seen gas that high in my life.
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year.
Well, at that rate, it's going to take 40 years to get back to where we were.
Low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up.
Oh, man, both. I do not like to hear that. That is really crushing for young Americans.
And we are going to keep it that way.
Yep, that is bad. That is not good.
53
just my opinion.
All-time record highs since the election. Think of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States. And when I say less, substantially less. In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe.
Yeah, the stock market's looking good now, but they're talking about an AI bubble might be popping at some point this year, which could send stocks, at least tech stocks, down by a lot.
Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes.
1 year.
A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world, the hottest.
Democrats don't even like that, man. They're deliberately trying to destroy our country. They want to burn it all down to the ground in the name of globalism. That's why they can't even clap for that.
As thousands
or the
of
fentanyl.
Businesses
can't even clap for that.
And factories, plants, and laboratories are being built. We have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
Hell yeah. Good news. People in Venezuela are getting paid finally. Democrats hate that, man. They love socialism. That's why they're so pissed off about Venezuela.
American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill.
Amen. To hell with EVs. We don't want EVs. Sorry, Elon Musk. People don't want them.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today, and 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
Yeah, because they've been downsizing government, which is awesome. Although a lot of people are working second, third jobs, though, because middle class, man, we're struggling.
We ended DEI in America.
Amen. Yeah, Democrats do not like that. Oh, that makes them mad, especially blue hair, or purple hair. What's her name? I forgot her name.
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
Hell yeah. Amen. Saving that tax money. Pushing them back into the workforce.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
Yeah, Democrats, they love that welfare state. That is pissing them off. He stole the food stamps from 2 million Americans. You heard it from him. I can already see that clip being played over and over again over the next couple of days on the mainstream news.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold
Hell yeah, the hockey
medal
team.
Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
And where's the women's too, man? Bring out the women's hockey team. Because they won the gold too. Where are they? You gotta stand up for the Team USA for the women too. I mean, that's cool they showed up, but come on, man. They should have both teams here. USA. Look at all those laptops up there. Damn media. Although there's probably a lot of independent media up there now, thanks to Trump. Show the Democrats. Are they even clapping? Of course they're not. Okay, they're up. They're standing up. We'll see. Maybe they'll leave and maybe Trump will bring out the women's hockey team.
That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. Actually, not all of them did get up.
I would certainly hope so.
A fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
Okay, there we go. I don't know, maybe for whatever reason they weren't in town yet. Sure it would have been nice if they were here, though. Because they won the gold first. They won before the men did.
They were in the Oval Office before. And I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
You got a lot of respect for the goalie, man. Try to get back into hockey. Tampa Bay Lightning, that's my team. Go Bolts. I haven't watched them in a while. I'm trying to cut back on spending money.
Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given.
Medal of Freedom.
And which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12, it's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Well, they won in overtime, too.
Great athletes have gotten that.
He certainly earned it.
The best, and I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
To be fair, I missed the game. I never ever watch the Olympics. I'll watch swimming. I like watching swimming because I used to swim competitively in school. But no, I'm kind of boycotting the Olympics. To hell with the Olympics. They struck one of my YouTube videos, for crying out loud, over a 20-second clip.
I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles.
That's the better one anyway. Summer's better than the winter. Apologies if you don't feel that way. You know, a lot of people like the Winter Olympics. Olympics seem fast this year, right? What was it, like 10 days?
And
maybe
Los
it was 2 weeks.
Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country.
Amen.
And
yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle in L.A., though.
I must say, I got them both. I got them in my first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news.
That's great news. I forgot to cut my background music. I just cut it.
So this will be a year to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world, but he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there's still some World War II vets out there. There's not a whole lot of them left, but there's still some of them. Wow, man, that's amazing. He's looking pretty good for his age, though. World War II.
So, buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of
I can only imagine what he's thinking about the country right now.
Always shone through very brightly.
Freaking Democrats.
It was July 4th
That's what he
of
fought
last
for.
year when floodwaters tore through a
Freaking
girls' summer
DEI.
camp in Central Texas.
Illegal
One of the
immigrants.
worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClelland closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class, and he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Holy shit. Damn, that's like some Medal of Honor level. Which, that doesn't sound like a military operation, though, right? I mean, like, during a time of war. Good grief, man. 160. Or 140. Is that what they said?
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate. And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aide, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
Are the liberal justices not there? I think that they're not there. I don't think they came. The 3 liberal justices.
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these
Of course
really
they're partisan.
important and very necessary, massive
Such a disgrace.
tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax
Amen.
on Social Security for our great seniors.
Yeah, you don't want to stand up for that. A lot of Democrat voters really appreciate that.
And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Amen.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening, and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and her expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it. I did not name that.
Trump accounts.
Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man standing right there in the 3rd row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6.25 billion to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people.
Very generous.
When I asked Michael, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school, and I made computers, and I'd sell them to people, and I just kept selling and selling and selling, and pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops, so I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it, how much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to TrumpAccounts.gov, TrumpAccounts.gov, and a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people.
It can handle up to like 30, 35 million children.
One of the primary reasons.
So if you plan on having kids over the next couple of years, you definitely should sign up for it.
The biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs. I use these tariffs.
Well, also AI. That also played a big part.
To make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done. And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down.
What happened to Tulsi Gabbard's hand?
Very unfortunate ruling.
And she had a surfing accident.
But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal
I only see
could
4
be far
justices
worse
here.
for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes, and they have been tested for a long time.
Thanks to Amy Coney Barrett.
But they're actually probably
sure would have been nice if we had her help.
To a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary.
Show Brett Kavanaugh, man. He's the real hero with that decision.
And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
Where's Clarence Thomas? Did they seat the justices elsewhere too? I thought they always put them all together.
Moving forward,
I don't know. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe they've already shown up.
Investment and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. Put America first. I love America. For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite. From trade to healthcare, from energy to immigration, everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond,
Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
It reached a breaking point with
She's
the
a rep
Green
in
New
my state.
Scam, open borders for everyone.
That is one nasty lady.
They poured
She is
in
not
by
nice.
the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. They were murderers, 11,888 murders. They came into our country. You allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000.
Of course, Mark Kelly,
a speck of
the one who told our soldiers to disobey Trump's orders.
People in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem.
Dollar Store Obama. Oh man, I almost got the sombrero out.
They knew their
All right, bring him out. Where is he? All right, whatever.
They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward.
Yeah, see, they thought the terrorists were going to all do the opposite. It was Pocahontas. But no, man, tariffs did not bring down the stock market.
Is down.
They didn't jack up prices like crazy.
Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while. We're getting it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially energy, when they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care.
Yeah, point at them.
Since the passage
Obamacare.
of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten
ruined our
rich.
healthcare
It was meant
industry.
for the insurance companies, not for the people.
Don't even get me
With
started.
our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%.
Yeah, so did our fucking premiums.
Like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
Amen. Democrats 100% own that. Not a single Republican voted for Obamacare or the subsidies.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
So big. And I did that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened.
And they
now
did.
I'm bringing them way down on health care and everything else.
Yeah, we need competition back.
I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before.
Trump RX.
Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action, but I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but strange things happen.
Oh my God, they're going to go insane.
Prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way. And here tonight is the very first customer ever to get that big discount, and it is big, Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase, but a few weeks ago, she logged onto the Trump RX website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500. Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing I'm not sure it matters, because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%.
Oh, they'll do it in a convoluted kind of way.
If you don't mind, codify it anyway. They may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers
called the
could
cheap
unfairly
healthcare
drive
bill.
up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory, so that no one's prices will go up, and in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community, and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before.
Chris Wright.
We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you, and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns.
Well, they can produce a surplus
happen over the next
and
number of years.
push it back into the grid.
Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is
Come on, C-SPAN. Why are you showing him, dude?
a mom of two
falling asleep.
from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
Hopefully that'll put a dent in it. Of course, that doesn't make them have to sell what they've got already. But of course, they're going to be challenging that in the courts. I have no doubt about that.
Because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Raysel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon.
Yeah, for freaking $400,000. You got to be making a six-figure income to afford the average house today.
We're also
Most households don't make near that much.
Easier for Americans to save for retirement.
About $25K short.
And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office,
they're not doing anything, man. They're raising prices for everything, the Democrats.
At least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year.
I don't think she believes
As we
them.
ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
Yeah, thank God. All right, show Anna Paulina Luna, because I think she's leading the charge on that. That's my rep. Where's she at? Come on, C-SPAN. She's leading the charge with the insider trading nonsense. Wow, look at that. Pocahontas is cheering. Wow, Trump gets one. I think that's Ed Markey next door, I think.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it.
Wow, unbelievable.
I can't believe it.
So does that mean they're going to get that codified?
Stand up if she's here. Doubt it.
No.
Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Amen. Get it passed. Obviously, he doesn't want that to happen. Looks like an insider trading guru if I ever seen one.
I wasn't sure if
I can't remember who that
on
was.
This side was going to
I've seen him before. I
that.
can't remember.
I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the
here we go.
Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. We have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that.
All coming out.
And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President J.D. Vance.
Whoa, hell yeah. There's Ilhan Omar, the corrupt SOB herself. She's leading the charge in the Somali corruption. The Democrats that scream against it, they are the ones who are profiting off of that corruption.
We'll get it done.
Watch the Nick Shirley videos. They'll blow your mind, man.
Of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly.
Let's hope so.
That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA, and it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games.
Moron herself.
Delilah.
That's an overly emotional woman if you ever seen one. Talk about a raving lunatic.
Delilah Colden was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in
probably Gavin Newsom.
California.
Yep.
Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk. And she's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
She's adorable.
Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress to pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens.
You gotta keep our roads safe, Democrats.
And yesterday,
Department of Transportation, Sean Duffy, right there.
I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored.
Completely ignored them.
Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
Amen. No, we don't. Hey, one Democrat stood up.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would
100%.
open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots.
Yeah, I was going to say the Republicans, basically. Pretty scary, ain't it? You better believe they will, man. They'll blow that border wide open if they get back in.
As we speak, Democrats in this chamber have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
Yes, they have.
It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security.
These Democrats are seething. I'm almost glad that C-SPAN's showing them more than Republicans, which I have noticed.
People clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you gave no money.
That's why Mom Donnie was trying to hire civilian snow shovelers because FEMA's shut down.
A pretty large snowstorm out there.
How you like that?
One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what
they couldn't give any less of a shit.
Really believe.
These people are fucking
tonight,
evil,
I'm
man.
inviting every legislature to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Amen. Americans, not illegals. And notice the Democrats. Told you, they put illegals above their own constituents, above American citizens. They are the anti-America party, officially. He's looking right at him. I love it. They won't even stand up. No, they won't. I hope registered voters are paying attention tonight. Oh man, they're just gonna let that drag on, aren't they? They're not putting Americans first. Their silence speaks volumes. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sound echo. got a couple of Democrats. Looks like there might be a couple that are standing up, possibly. I hope he says, while we're waiting. You don't want to put Americans first then, huh? Nope. Absolute disgrace.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed.
Yes, you should. Give it to him, Trump.
I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal
overly emotional
of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, you should.
Most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Amen. Please get it done. Get it done. You think he's going to mention the filibuster?
Illegal aliens and others.
Nuke the filibuster.
From voting in our sacred American
that ain't going to happen.
Elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant. It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID.
That's it. It's simple. And the Democrats know that the majority of Democrats, 71%, support it. And the Democrats and the mainstream media are trying like hell to try to get their voters to go against it. They're trying to brainwash everybody.
All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote.
Amen. Because only American citizens have the right to vote.
And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel.
No, not even for illness. I wouldn't even give them that. It's like, what is it, like over half the country's got some kind of chronic ailment.
Including Democrats, 89%.
Yep, the vast majority do. They support it, whether they like it or not.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard.
Yes, they did.
Shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID.
No, you got to show 3. You got to show 3, including your Social Security card.
They want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are desperately screaming as loud as they can, aren't they? They're trying so hard. These people are so brain dead. Release the files. Hilarious. It's just never enough with them now, is it?
And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason.
Yep. Yes, they do.
They make
That's
up
it.
all excuses.
They have no other reason.
It's racist. They come up with things you almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
What other reason do you have other than, well, it's like racist. Like women with like birth certificates. They like can't vote.
And here is one
You're so full of shit.
opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful
Show
young
the transgenders.
woman with a full-ride scholarship to
Way to go, C-SPAN.
University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up.
Yep, that is the cultist ideology that they've got.
Thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this?
I know, it's insanity.
15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe that we're even talking about that?
Absolutely.
We must ban it.
I thought Democrats hated children being ripped from their families. Isn't that what they preach all the time? Stop ripping children from families.
Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy.
Yes, they are. Amen. Amen. Fucking A, man. They are crazy. They are nuts. They're lunatics. They're cultists. And it's a disgrace.
Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country. But
yes, they are. I mean, look at this bullshit. Look at this nonsense that she's wearing. I mean, these people are lunatics. And a lot of them wouldn't even show up.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much.
I was almost hoping Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib would start screeching when he was talking, right after he said that they're crazy. I was hoping, but nope, they held their tongue. Oh my God, dude, that was amazing. You know the mainstream media is definitely not going to ever play that.
I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God.
I also read in the country of Brazil, there's been a big resurgence in Christianity. You know, it's unrelated to the U.S., but it's still happening today.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of tough things that we've been dealing with, COVID and the wrecked economy, inflation.
So last year, Charlie was violently murdered
Erica.
by an assassin and martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Absolutely horrible, man.
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
Yep, all political violence. Which, of course, is exclusively happening on the left. And look at them. Friggin' standing up. Like they stand for that.
We love religion, and we love bringing it back. And it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail, stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly.
Yep, unforgettable image.
She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand?
Wow, they didn't even stand for that.
I'm asking this Congress to pass
they stand for criminals.
legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there. Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success.
New Orleans,
Louisiana, big success. And our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
Because Democrats are pro-crime, and they're not in charge right now. And the mayor is playing ball.
In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago.
Nope, they won't stand. Notice how C-SPAN isn't going to show them.
They don't like to hear that. one of sick people, one of the
why are they showing this guy?
Members
show the Democrats. Show him not standing.
Turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom.
I mean, who knows? That guy might have been the mayor of New Orleans or something.
After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her.
Oh, okay, never mind.
The next day, she was on patrol.
Oh, Sarah Beckstrom. Oh, that's her parents. Okay.
Shot in the head by a terrorist
monster. Yeah, it was absolutely horrible.
Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country.
Yep, from Afghanistan.
And all because she wore the uniform of our nation. She was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged. Shouldn't have been in our country.
Nope,
Sarah
no thanks to Joe
Beckstrom
Biden.
Died in order to defend our capital. And we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like her.
The other soldier that was shot with her, he survived, right? I mean, his story just kind of fell out of the media, and I don't think that I've heard an update from him in a long time. Yeah, hopefully he's doing okay.
So sorry. Thank you very much. A great young lady. I saw reports that were like, perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf.
That's right, Andrew Wolf.
The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night, and she was so positive.
Yeah, there he is.
Doctors thought that Andrew was gone, but his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly
I remember reading about
in bed,
that.
blood all over. Everybody is praying.
She talked to the media after that happened.
He will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying, and after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melody? She turned out to be right.
She was right. He's right there with her. Looks like he made a full recovery, too. That is phenomenal, man. I mean, he was shot in the head, and he survived. And he looks really good. Really happy for him. You better get the very best care the VA can provide. America deserves to take care of him. Anything he needs.
Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice
he's standing.
To see you.
He's
Thanks,
walking.
Andrew. Thank you very much.
Oh, the Democrats just hate that, man. They love death and destruction. Yeah, you better stand up.
So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Seward to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
Oh, he's getting the Purple Heart. Awesome, man. Pinned by a general.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? Sick people.
Yep, sick people.
Cambodia and Thailand. Pakistan and India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and of course the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared.
It's a lot of conflict, man. Especially inside 1 year.
And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
The man himself. The man that wears 1,000 hats. Always being humble. He's like, can we wrap this up? I got work to do.
People don't like you.
Oh, yeah.
Marco got 100%.
He's doing a hell of a job.
When he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%.
Yeah, he was the only cabinet member unanimously voted in.
I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever.
One of the best, at least. His colleagues won't even stand for him. Disgrace.
Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that?
Everyone. Both dead and alive. Why not show the Democrats? That would be a good time to show them. There's John Fetterman. Look at that. He's wearing a suit. John Fetterman's got the suit on.
Those parents.
Way to go. Very proud of him.
Son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy. They wanted him as much as though he were living. That was an amazing period of time. And they came back, and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead, of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug, and they dug, and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And
wow, man.
They finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job.
Yeah, and to think they were held captive underground for over 2 years, man. It's unimaginable what the hell Hamas was doing to them.
And we're working very hard to end the 9th war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president. Would have never happened.
Nope,
As
probably
president,
not.
I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must.
Peace
That's
through
why
strength.
in a breakthrough operation last June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as
Midnight Hammer.
Operation Midnight Hammer. For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact.
Yeah,
He was
I
the
remember that.
father of the roadside bomb.
Yeah, what did he say he was doing? Begging like a dog or something like that, or we killed him like a dog?
And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like, 32,000 protests. 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence. But this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, and in particular, nuclear weapons. Yet they continue. They're starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference.
Well, there we go. We got a couple Democrats standing up for that.
My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
Gotta get that Golden Dome built. Gotta secure Greenland, right? Hopefully we'll never have to use anything like that, of course.
No nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term. We're going to continue to do so. Also, we just approved a $1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have to be strong, because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed, at my very strong request, to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of that. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 3. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen. We got it really easily with one meeting. And big difference between 2% that's not paid. We were paying the freight of many of them. Very few were paid up. Now 5% then they're paid.
What the hell's Nancy Pelosi
we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO, and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for recruitment. This is so exciting. And every service member recently...
Can't tear up the speech this time, Nancy Pelosi. Bet she didn't stand up for the insider trading statement. She needs to return all that money. It wasn't me, it was my husband.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776. You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things, a lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute, for one more dollar, we can have $1,776. It's going to... I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. One more dollar, I said $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it, so we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love our firemen. You know, the firemen don't get mentioned enough. We love our firemen. We're also...
I'll say you look like a bunch of fucking snakes if you don't even stand up for firemen.
We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels. That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
As it is, man. Kills tens of thousands a year. Democrats love fentanyl. They love terrorism. They love drug cartels. They love crime.
And with our new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday.
Yeah, the other day.
In January.
Yeah, Mexico's in chaos right now. The president's not going to do much about it. The Mexican president.
In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me and they said, very impressive, very impressive. They couldn't believe, they all watched, they saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby, because we did that. My baby is becoming so important. America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
Dude, get out of the way.
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight
fantastic
is
news.
Alejandro Gonzalez. She grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come.
Great news.
Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down. Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro. Really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew we were coming. They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter. A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good?
Paper tiger.
While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine guns stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash. deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, we probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take the searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets, and keep on flying and landing, and people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife, Amy, Eric, and Amy, come on in.
Man, he's a big guy. He looks like Superman. It's great he made it out, though, in all seriousness. Oh my God, they're about to give him the Medal of Honor. Sorry, spoiler alert.
So we have a surprise for Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Certainly deserves it. There's that smile. We had to get it out for crack a smile for a second.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg, we have it back, we brought it back.
Yes,
we
do.
won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House, and Eric will be there. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator. Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions.
Oh, he looks familiar. I think I've seen him before.
In 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh, man, fantastic. He's like, oh, wow. Hey, you're getting the Medal of Honor. Looks good on you.
Thank you, Royce, and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday.
How about the Nobel Peace Prize?
But you know, that's our highest honor,
that should
Congressional
suffice.
Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. 2 of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago, 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror. Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside, but that great betrayal is over and they will never be forgotten again, because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us. The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
God bless America. Watch the Democrats run out of there as fast as possible. They're going to hunt down the cameras. They can't get to the cameras fast enough. Surprised psychopathic Rashida Tlaib isn't going to stick around, try to take a swing on Trump. Her stupid ass. Bunch of lunatics, man. There you have it. State of the Union.
President, that was a home run. Mr. President. Hey. All right. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Very well done. We'll see you Friday, Mr. President. Great job.
Oh, good. Good. See you. See you. Thank you.
Well done. Good job. Good man.
Thank you.
Excellent speech, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Absolutely. I'm so proud.
Thank you. Mr. President.
Right on time, man. 11 o'clock sharp.
Thank you. Initial, just an initial. I like that.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Mr. President, outstanding speech, sir. Mr. President. He's getting them all. He did good.
They love the insider trading stuff.
How's he doing? He's a youngster.
He fell asleep a couple times.
You did amazing. You really did.
Great speech. Proud of you.
Great job, Mr. President. Thanks for your leadership. Mr. President, well done. God bless you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, fellas. That's a big statement coming from you guys.
That was great. He really gave it to the Democrats, too. Very glad to see that. He didn't let up because they were trying to make some noise, as they usually do in recent history.
Thank you, everybody. Great job. Great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. That was the best speech.
Thank you very much. Really, the best ever? That's a nice coming from you. That's a big statement. There he is. Great job.
Congratulations, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care. Thank you.
Still need to talk to you. Congratulations, Mr. President. Thank you. Mr. President. That's great.
Thanks, Jeff, sir.
All right. Well, there you go. So it's just going to be meet and greets for the rest of the time.
The chair declares the joint session of the two houses now dissolved.
Dissolved. Go and go home. Except the Democrats are going to the cameras so they can scream and seethe and try to propagandize the people who are watching.
Was an hour and 47 minutes, the longest on record. Now, we've got about 5 minutes before the Democratic response. We're going to show you the numbers. We're going to take your calls a little bit later. You can see the numbers.
Oh, man, I really want to see this.
To the
I didn't plan on watching this, though. I got to get this video uploaded. It's after 11.
The area code for all of the numbers, 748-8921 for Republicans, 748-8920 for Democrats.
Okay, all right. So what I'll do, I'll probably follow up with this on tomorrow's episode. And just know if you happen to watch this tonight, if you didn't catch the State of the Union elsewhere, just know on C-SPAN they're going to show the Democrats' response. I'm sure they'll be showing it elsewhere, probably on CNN and MSNBC. Oh, I'm sorry, MS Now and other mainstream left-wing media outlets. I'm sure they'll be covering that also. So, okay, well, that's gonna do it for this episode. And the other content that I didn't get to, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll finish that up tomorrow, and I'll have a look at anything else that's happening tomorrow. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of talk as to what happened with the State of the Union, so I'll be bringing that tomorrow evening with tomorrow's episode of The Swamp. So if you enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be dropping the next episode tomorrow around 11 o'clock p.m., covering the swamp and everyone in it, politicians, bureaucrats, and the agencies. And I'm also over on X Daily, so you can feel free to comment over there too if you'd like. And thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your night, and God bless America.